How's it going, everyone of the YouTube world? So today I'm going to do a review and show some of the uses of the new Snap-on Multi-Probe Ultra. This is a brand new product for them, and I've had this one for a couple weeks now, so I've gotten to use it a little bit. I love it so far. It's kind of a cross between a multimeter and a power probe with functionality of both, and it's just in one package, so you're only buying one thing. And I think it's honestly one of the best deals Snap-on has right now in their electrical. So we're going to come up here and I'll show you kind of some of the functions, just to how the display works. So you can supply your power and ground. This controls the two LED lights out front, which are pretty bright and come in handy. Down below you have your sound, because it makes a pretty annoying sound, I think. Here you can toggle up and down. You can go through, so you can do ohms, amps, volts DC, and volts AC. So we'll go up to volts DC, hit select, and that brings you to your page for this. And so on the right, you have your different amp levels, and you can cycle right through that. On the left, you can do the battery stat, which is for the batteries only, and it'll tell you your battery voltage on top anyways, 12.9. And then you can do the hot shot, which is for when you're supplying power, and I believe it's 3 seconds. So then when you want to get out of that, let's see, okay, you go back to the main menu, and you can switch everything. You can do amps, select that, and it'll give you different readings. It'll give you, if you come over here, and we go on the battery, that's going to show you a negative up in the top left. And you will switch over to the positive. It's going to show you that you're reading the positive. And then if you go back, go to volts DC, select 12.9. It's going to show what it's reading at the tip. And it'll also give you a min-max number. So that's just kind of some of the functions. So you have this tip, plus you have the little ground. Now the kit from Snap-on doesn't come with this lead right here. This is just off a regular multimeter. It comes with just a alligator clip and the tip. But if you have one of the big sets for multimeters that'll get into all your different connectors, you can still use that on this, because these will take any multimeter lead. So I prefer to actually use this one over the one that they give you. But other than that, I think it's an awesome tool. In the next couple clips, I'll show you some of the uses for it that we've seen so far. Okay, so we got a couple tests set up here. We've got a window regulator, a fan, and a relay. So we're going to show some of kind of the power probe side of this tool. So if you want to come in here, so you can just cycle through the menu with your up and down there. Okay, and then you can select. So we're on volts DC right now, and it'll show you your source battery voltage. So with 12.9, so we have a perfectly good battery. So the first thing we're going to start off on here is with the relay. So now we don't need, this is your amount of amps you're going to send through the tip. So we'll just go with 3. You can hook it up, and this is perfect for testing relays because it's so quick. And you can hear the relay clicking, so you know you have a good relay. The next one we're going to do is this fan. And so we can see right here, we can boost up our amps super easy. We'll go 10 amps on the fan. Tristan, if you want to hold that. The tip on there. And then you apply your positive, and it powers up the fan. And it'll give you some different readings. On the display. So you really have a lot of good information right at your face when you're looking. And then we'll do this regular regulator. And there you go, you can power that up. So as you can see through these 3 different tests, it's super useful for any electrical circuits. I've used it several times already on this motor, and it's been super useful so far. In the next clip, we'll do some more of the multimeter side of things, and that should hopefully give you a pretty good idea of how this thing works.
the tire.
Okay, so the next test we're going to do is kind of the multimeter function of the MultiProbe Ultra. And the other thing I'm going to show is kind of how convenient it is and where it can really fit into tight places. So down here we have the starter for this motor, and we put it right down there. And then it's reading 12.9 volts at the tip. And that fits into a pretty compact spot. And it also shows that it's a positive. That's the other reading you're going to get. And then if you need to put your ground on somewhere, like a regular multimeter, this will take the leads for any standard multimeter. You just pull the tip out. So if you have like the big kits for all the different connectors and stuff, you can actually still use that on this tool, which makes it pretty handy. It doesn't come with that. All it comes with is the tip, and then it comes with an alligator clip for on your ground, but it's pretty easy and pretty cheap to buy all the accessories for it. There you go. So I hope what we've showed you gives you maybe a better idea if you're looking at purchasing one of these. I know when I got this one it was $400, but I think they've kind of actually dropped price on these. So it's really not a bad idea when you're thinking if you want to buy a good multimeter. That's going to be a couple $100, and PowerProbe 3s are like $3 something, I think. So really you're not getting a bad deal with this, because mostly Snap-on stuff's super overpriced. But I think this is actually a good deal. It comes with everything you're going to really need to start off. It is made in China. That's the biggest downfall of it that I can see. It has an 18-month warranty right now. But other than that, I think it's great for doing a lot of different things. The cable is 23 feet long, so like our battery's all the way back there, and we have no problem, plenty of extra slack up here. So I'm really in love with it so far. I think it was a great buy. But that'll do it for this video. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.